Hey, fellow competitor dreamers, welcome to our episode 8 of our Dreaming to Compete podcast. Embracing challenges. How to use challenges as fuel for your growth and your dreams by bouncing back from them and being resilient and just enjoying life with challenges. Because how desirable and how fun would life be without any challenges and if everything came easy to us? In this amazing conversation with ontological coach Stephen Holguin, we dive deep into how challenges help us achieve our dreams. So listen to the full conversation and get your own lessons and let us know in the comments what they were and how they will help you in your path.
Welcome, Stephen, again here in our channel where we own our dreams by competing and compete by owning our dreams.
I love the idea, and thank you so much for inviting me. I'm actually honored and thrilled to just be part of this because at the end of the day, it's all about that. How can we share our experience and compete to chase our dreams? So thank you for having me here, and I'm just thrilled.
Awesome. I'm so glad you're here with us and we're gonna be able to learn a lot from you. So today the topic is gonna be challenges. What is a challenge for you?
A challenge for me, that's a big question. A challenge for me is something that is completely new for me, and definitely I do not have a way figured out to how to move forward on it. So for me, that causes me this alert where it's filtered as a challenge, right?
Have you gone through challenges?
Uh, I'm actually going through challenges. Every single second of my life, we all go through challenges. I think challenges is just part of uh, living. The biggest challenge here is how we allow them, how we first allow the challenge to do the work, acknowledge them. And once you acknowledge them, then it becomes part of your learning process. I think that that's a very important thing that once you kind of like put the camera on that challenge and you accept it yourself, you start coming into a deeper understanding and a deeper, like kind of like conquering a deeper, bigger side of you that allows you to to overcome it or to learn or to break through that challenge and then go to the next side and see what is there.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to have this conversation in my channel because there's a lot of us that we avoid challenges when
Yeah.
challenges are not a bad thing. Or do you think they're bad?
I I don't think challenges are bad at all in the fact that they are part of like they're this kind of like propellers. They invite you to do this extra jump. Sometimes you're so much in your comfort zone that you need some challenges to kind of like shake in your life and then go for the next phase of your life. And I think challenges are not bad. I think they're just uncomfortable. We don't want to be challenged. Our brain is always kind of like trying to save us from being uncomfortable. Our brain wants always that we're in our comfortable zone. So a challenge is just very uncomfortable. And sometimes it could be uh, strength wise, right? Sometimes it could be mental challenge. Sometimes it could be an emotional challenge. Sometimes it could be overcoming childhood trauma. So challenges are part of life. And they're, to me, they're those kind of like KPIs where when you have in your life that tells you where you at and where you need to be shaken. Done in the last 3 4 months, that was not on my forecast. I didn't know I was able to accomplish that. And if I look backwards and if I look at everything that I've done, when we were saying who I was, it's like, holy cow, yes, I am an ontological coach. Holy cow, I am an organizational coach. And to me, that's so much, but I've been working on it. And it was a challenge to get it done. Economically, it was a challenge. Putting up myself with the whole transition of it. And it's still a challenge now for me. But if I wouldn't go through those challenges, then I would probably not be as clear with my purpose, which is being an advocate to be a conscious awareness, because that's at the end of the day what I love to do. I think that elevating consciousness, it just allows us to understand that in this moment, in this planet Earth, we have a mission. And we're so entertained with the loudness and the madness and the future and the consumption and the immediate gratification that we forget that there is a mission.
And how do you think we can find that mission then?
I don't know. So I'm pretty sure that when I'll find out, I'll let you know. I don't know. I think, how do you find out that mission is every day you wake up and that you really love to do, and that you how you see the world in your inner conversation and in your thoughts, that is this joyful and blissful and loving feeling, and that kind of like reroutes you. Me, myself, and I personally identify that that's, God, call it whatever, God, however you want to call it. That is just the higher energy inviting you to connect with your purpose. And a mission, you're on a mission every day. You're finding that mission. That mission is getting to have more meaning every day you walk. You go through those challenges. You question yourself. You encounter new problems. You encounter new excitements. You start seeing that joy, right? Sometimes I think that it's not clear and sound, and that is something I honestly like to talk about. That's a challenge that humanity has. We're addicted to perfection. We're addicted to have everything clear. We cannot have everything clear. You might have a plan, you might have a mission, you might have a vision, but if that's not your mission, then you're not going to go for it. And believe me, life is going to reroute you until you go there or you learn what you have to learn. So to answer your question, I think that what can we do to find our mission is just be conscious. Be conscious and ask yourself, if there is something that I will love to leave as a legacy when I die, personally me, is that I'm very concerned about the new generations, how detached they are from their emotional world. Meaning that if there's anything that you feel depressed, you feel unhappy, or you're going through something, these younger generations are not very sensitive, and they can empathize with people's feelings because we are so digital. We are so immediate. That is very out. And while we grow, you're starting seeing that. So I get concerned and I need to advocate for that.
Yep.
So when I talk about it, then I start sensing my mission and start feeding my mission, and I get very in tune.
Yeah. So the first mission, as I see it, is to find your mission.
Right.
It's the most important mission, and then live your life toward that mission. Live that mission, and it's gonna be really different for everyone. And as you see it, as you said, it is feeling, living what makes you feel good, and just, I think it's not about us, what I can do. It's about what I can do for others. So it's not about what the world can do for me. What can I do for others, and how can I serve others? The mission should go around that.
Absolutely agree.
And
remember, we're humans came to this world to do something, to love and be loved. It's so simple. We're just fighting with that for years. We want to be loved, and we want to love. We love to give and we love to receive. And when you give yourself, I'm going to give you a perfect example. To me, doing this, believe it or not, as much as you see me, I think I told you this prior, I have a challenge with getting into the camera every day, even though it's part of my job and I do it, and I'm easy to talk, on the camera. My conversation, my personal challenge, every time I'm going to jump into this, I get into me. But when I'm on the subject, I'm serving others. I'm here thinking about who is gonna see this video and who is gonna connect with the words I'm saying. And if they can take at least 10% of what I'm saying, I'm already given. I'm already living my mission. And I'm already living my fucking journal. That's why I came out with my podcast, Live Your Fucking Journal. My brand, Live Your Journal, is everybody is a journal and everybody, it's a healer. But we as humanity, we don't allow to accept the other how they are because we're so busy. But if we dig into every human being, allow yourself to establish a conversation and kind of like identify their mindset and identify their beliefs and their thoughts, you get to know their world. And once you get more into that conversation, you start getting their gifts. You just need to be conscious. It is such a cliche word, but it is true. As much conscious you are, you start getting amazed with the gifts that life gives you.
The gifts that life gives you, and you give gifts to other people, to life,
Right.
to start living in a mission. Yeah. What's your journal for the next 15 years? What do you have in mind? What change do you want to do in the world, or what do you want to do in this world for the next 15 years?
That's a loaded question. That's a loaded question.
How do you want to serve in 15 years? How would you see yourself, your journal, that like, oh, I accomplished this journal. I served this way, or whatever you want.
No, and I want to tell you, I'm quiet not because it is a loaded question and I don't have an answer. It is not because it's a loaded question and I don't have an answer, because I don't, right? I mean, in terms that I know that if I can be my best version and I can do what I'm doing and be able to travel the world and be able to connect with people like you, that allows me and gives me the opportunity to get to their audience and to have conversations, and they allow me in their lives and their ears and get to know me, I am sure and certain that they're gonna have a gift. So I do have a huge dream is being able to have a big conference and have different conferences, different people that works with health and wellness and conscious awareness. I want to have a foundation, right, with kids too, for advocates for mental health. I think that that's something that for me it's a huge thing. We're seeing a lot of depression in younger generations. We're seeing a lot of suicidals in the younger depressions and in the younger generations. And that to me, it's upsetting, because when you're a kid, that's the most beautiful phase of your life. Your innocence, you're building, you're creating this hope, and seeing that to me, it hurts me. It hurts my soul. So I'm a promoter of love. I want to be able to connect as many million of people and become my best version and learn. I always say too, the beauty of these when you establish conversations is people can listen and they can have a gift. But when you are allowed to listen to their experiences, their struggles, their challenges, their virtues, their happiness, you get that too. And then when you move forward, you have the advantage of that reference and do something different or integrate it in you. So I think that in 15 years, I'm going to have even a better organization. I'm going to be able to have an impact, not only in the United States, the world, and my foundation. And I'm going to live in purpose. And probably every day, I'm going to be able to find out more about it, how it's established, right? Because it's a work in progress. It's for sure a work in progress.
For sure. So, if you could wave a wand in this world, what would you change? I'm seeing a lot of challenges that humanity is facing right now. You said that we're not living in conscious and like kids are not connected. Uh, what is one thing that you would change in this world?
The lack of empathy. I think that how intolerant we are with others and with the pain of others, right? I think that the lack of empathy and the lack of uh, love,
Of love? Yeah. Because there's no empathy
there's a lot.
if there's no love.
Absolutely. And you know what's the funny part too is that it starts with you. You cannot give what you don't give yourself. And while I'm talking to you this, I'm literally integrating it to me because I tend to be very strict to myself. And I tend to like keep myself with a bat, right? So people might think, oh no, he's a coach. He got it all figured out. No, my people, we go through it and 3 times worse because we have this huge thought that we should have more access to these resources to move on faster. Yeah, but you still experience certain things. You're still a human. And you're still processing. And you're still going through it, right? Um, I think that you do not give what you don't have. You are with others the reflection of who you are with you. You give to others what you have in your heart. So you can't give what you don't have. If your heart has unsolved trauma, resentment, vindictive, we'll call it sadness, whatever, or happiness, or I don't know, or you're this sport person as you are, or you have hobbies, or you have this, you're gonna give that. You're gonna give what you have because it's just it can't give what you don't have. So I think self-love. I hate using cliche words because I think it's like right. And but when you honestly see on it, what is self-love? How do I allow myself to heal? Do I really love myself that I put in myself every day, even though it hurts? I go to the gym and work out every day. Do I eat healthier and I'm conscious about what I'm putting in, in my body? Do I go to sleep with meditation because I have anxiety? Like, do I help myself to be alone and heal because I'm grieving my 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 marriage? Like, what is it that you really put yourself into, and how do you really love yourself to put yourself into that, or you just go with the flow and blah 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 blah, and then that's when we explode. And what we do is we spread toxicity to the world. We are this world that unhealed, basically, because that's how I call it.
We could burn out.
Yeah. And it's collective. Whatever you turn around, whoever you look around and you allow yourself to have a conversation, those conversations that are abnormal, right? uh, that you talk, that you do this, that you really question. I love questions stuff, right? I love asking myself questions because when you ask like, what are you gonna do in 15 years with what you do? Holy shit. Pardon my French. You know, like I'm so immersed in being present and doing it every day that I haven't gotten the time to go that far, 15 years, and see myself. And that's good to question yourself that, right? Because probably that's a gift you gave me today. That's a gift you gave me. Thank you for that. Because it's like, this is important for me. What's my forecast? I know that plan can change, but it's like you're in a sport guy, right?
Yeah.
How do you run a race if you don't know where the end line is?
Yeah. We need a North Star.
How are you gonna run that race? How are you gonna have motivation? What are you gonna know if if you're prepared for that race, right? If there's no end line, we don't know where we're running.
We can set that in line and then unattached to it. It's just gonna work as a North Star, but if we don't it's not about accomplishing it, it's about the bad. Or what do you think about that?
Very good. Who's your coach? No, you're right. And when I say very good and I start quiet, what it got me is that we're so focused on the end price. And the funny part is that sometimes you're at the end part and you're like, this is it. We're evolving creatures. We're humans. Humans are continuously growing and evolving. We evolve, our relationships evolve, our desires evolve, our thoughts and beliefs evolve, our physical body evolves and deteriorates, right? And we're growing. I'm sorry, I gotta call. But what makes it interesting is this, where you are right now, when you had everything around, and then just life comes and boom, and then you have to become an artist and create in present life. Acknowledging how good of an artist you are and how talented you became, that to me is the best, because there is healing, there is admiration, there is self-love, there is creativity, there is making something for others, there is legacy, right? And there is a goal, evolution. So for me, it's not the end goal. The end goal, it's where I'm heading to. That's where I'm going. But it's how I'm going to play that game. You're a professional soccer player. I know you have to win the game. The end goal is what? Win the game, right?
Yep.
But how are you performing in the field? Are you enjoying that? What do you evolve on that performance? Do you used to go there and be stressed because you guys were making goals, or you were really enjoying the freaking game and having and creating it and exploring that other side? Oh, this is being a little challenging. How can I do this? Allow myself to, I don't know, probably my coach wanted me to throw the ball to the left side, I throw it to the right side. Because that's creating. That's allowing yourself to know yourself and listen to your gut feelings. And then if eventually you hit and you don't score, you try.
I mean, it's like if you're still thinking about that angle, like just thinking about the angle and strategizing about how get in there, it's not gonna do anything. Like if I'm just thinking, okay, I'm gonna do this, like that's the angle, like I want to win the game. That's not gonna win the game. Winning the game is actually playing the game. So it's going on the pad and everything that we do on the pad that gets that goal. So like that is, for me, it's just a North Star, and then we set some milestones, some goals, some actions that could take us to that. And the path is gonna change. The path could change because
And it will change.
you may think that the thing is that the goal is gonna be like this, but we just mentioned it. Like it's gonna be like this, ups and downs with challenges.
Yeah.
So how do you go through those challenges? What's the mindset that you go through those challenges?
I start observing my conversation, my mindset, my patterns that are transparent, my unsolved trauma, and my solved trauma. I start getting into a very intimate inner conversation and allowing myself to feel however the fuck I need to feel. Part of my crime. Is it okay to say bad words here?
Yeah.
Yeah. However the hell I want to feel. and okay, it's like riding a freaking roller coaster. I'm going to get in the front row. I'm going to make sure that I have my seatbelt, but it's not as tight so I can feel like and I'm going to go to the one that challenged me the most. And I'm going to raise my hands and I'm going to open my eyes and I'm just going to go down and scream my life out. I think that has allowed me to get to know me at a deeper level, to know my needs and wants, to see what there is inside, and to get some strength, right? I'm very emotional. I'm extremely emotional. I love to
Yeah.
feel emotion. It's part of what I do. I think that it's a beautiful gift that we have that we're lacking of allowing it. You can't feel nowadays. Like you hear it all the time. In business, there's no emotions. Oh, there is emotion. If you don't have no click with the person, if you don't feel happy or joyful, if you cannot identify on a business meeting what's the emotionality of that business meeting, then you're not a good businessman. Well, perception, I might be completely very wrong. And why? Because you can perceive the emotion and you can act towards that perception. But if you're disconnected to your own emotional world, you cannot relate with others. If you don't cry when you're going through something, when you see someone crying, how do you think that person is going to act? Completely not,
Not
can
connected.
be,
Yeah, they can relate.
because that's too far for them. So you need to allow and explore all the emotions. It's part of being alive. It's part of being us, feeling ourselves. I think that that's been my biggest tool. Listen to my mindset and look into what emotions I'm on and how frequent I'm on them. It's okay to feel sad, but if I'm sad all day long, then that's probably a depression. So I want to identify that so I can be proactive and responsible to to do what I have to do to get out of that, right? But if I don't allow myself to see that, if I don't allow myself to feel, then what I'm doing, I'm just pushing down, pushing down, pushing down, and then eventually, shit's gonna hit the fan, man.
It's gonna explode.
It's gonna explode. So I think that my actions, right? And I'm laughing because you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, what's my mindset? How do I talk to myself? Does it come from an emotion of love? Does it come in an emotion of joy? Or does it come, where is it coming from? And then from there, what does those two things invite me to do? And then I kind of like zoom out myself and I try to observe what are my transparencies? What are the things that I do without being conscious about it? Do they work? Are they aligned with where I want to head? Are they aligned with taking care of myself? Are they aligned with my healing process? No. Change my mindset, try to connect with the emotions that will align me, and then follow up with my actions. Inconsistency. It doesn't come immediate.
No.
Pace.
You just said that, like, in this society.
Sickness. Because you're gonna get to the end point. Once you're in the end point, you're gonna be like, and I'm still not happy. And those 3 years, 2 years, 4 years, 1 year, 3 months, whatever the time it is, you're gonna be missing the gifts during that time because you're so conscious, putting so much attention to what is not there. And to me, that's been my biggest challenge. Trying to look the beauty and the colors and the vivid in the dark. Like I always say, even the night has the moon.
And
So there is light in darkness. if the moon wouldn't be a night, it would be a completely blackout.
How can we be more conscious of those emotions? Because you just mentioned it, you just said it that in today's society, first of all, we want things as like this right away. Like if the internet slows down, like we get frustrated. Like when 10 years ago, things didn't happen that fast. So that's just an example. But also we're not conscious of emotions, like of what we're feeling. How can we start being more conscious of those feelings?
Good question. First, breathe. I think that's breathing. It allows you to access to your inner world. And then when you connect with your breathing process, when you get to that point, you ask yourself, how do I feel? I'm a little tired. I went out last night. I've been going through a lot. I'm getting out of the depression and working a very huge responsibility and job, and have podcasts and building up my academy. You know, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. You know, it's as simple as breathing,
Slowing down.
slow down, and have an intimate conversation with me.
There's some days that I go through the day and I'm like, wait, the day is gone. Like, what did I do today? I'm like not even aware of what when I was doing things. Like things just go on autopilot. So slowing down really important for me.
It's like when you go to a show, right? I usually, when I go to a good show, I like to sit and lay back, because even this invitation, it allows you to be more open and receive, right? I like to do that. I like to be conscious in that position, right? Because it's like you have a whole, it's like if you go to the movies, you don't sit up front. That's your last option. You sit all the way on the back. Why? Because you want to see the whole view.
Mm-hmm.
When you're there is moments for moments, because this can always be way too much too, and then it doesn't allow you to move forward. But if you're always moving forward, it's amazing because you're a goal getter. You're gonna get that goal. This happens a lot to people that play sports, right? And are huge. Uh, they want the goals. They go for the goals. That's their motivation. That's their drive. But that's why you see a lot of them are depressed, because they don't feel. They're just chase their goal, chase their goal, chase their goal, because the idea of that. But that's not the happiness. The happiness is chasing that goal, waking up every freaking day and dressing to success to reach that goal, training for that, meeting your coach, meeting your colleagues, learning from your colleagues, having injuries, having to stop. That is
Life.
that is life. But we add so much pressure and we make it so difficult because unfortunately, we're our own enemies. So I don't know if that answered your question, because I completely forgot what was your question. I could really talk.
Yeah, me too. I forgot. It was about slowing down to feel our emotions because we're disconnected from that. But you're so right. Like it's about our day to day and like enjoying the gifts of life.
Live your fucking journal. That's my mission.
To live your fucking journal and for people to live their fucking journal.
That's my mission.
Yeah,
Yeah, and enjoy the ride.
and we achieve all of like any goal that we set ourselves to in our journal.
Can you achieve any? I mean, I cannot answer that, but I'm sure that if you put the mindset, the right emotions, and the right actions, you're gonna get that reality that you want,
And maybe something different. What?
and maybe even more.
Yeah,
But if
but like if you enjoy the ride, it'll be fun. But if you're just thinking about getting there,
it's
you're gonna
exhausting,
and you're gonna miss your life, waste time.
you could shoot.
Look at me, like I just had the accident of my life, and it brought me so many lessons. Like I want to live more present. I want to live the path, the path to my dreams, while still setting my bar so high that maybe I achieve it or I don't. But being unattached to that, well, being unattached to that dream, uh, being grateful for every moment I have and all the people around me.
And how does that make you feel?
Happier, like more connected to my feelings and happier. I just realized that I was like before the accident, I was thinking that I had a dream. I had a dream. After the accident, I was like, I'm living my dream. I'm not chasing my dream. I'm living it.
Wow.
So that makes me feel more present, more connected to myself, and in the same way, more connected to the people. Because just like you said it, you have to give to yourself before you give to others. And what you give to yourself, you give to others. So if I'm present with myself, and I'm gonna give presence to others. I'm gonna give connection to others.
So right now we're having an emotion conversation. And this is the part that this is beautiful to have this type of conversations. And we need to advocate for that. And I want to thank you for inviting me to this. Thank you for trusting. I had the opportunity to go through, in for many years, and it's been a great journey to see your path and just at such a short time of age, like everything that you have accomplished, you should be not only proud, happy, and grateful with that divine God or whatever it is for you that you encounter all those beautiful experiences and challenges because those challenges made you who you are. All that success made you reroute your 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 path. And it's part of creating. It's part of being an artist. Sometimes the mic drops and you have to create. You
Yep,
have to create. And that's how it is.
totally. So I just want to wrap up with two quick questions. Uh, the first one is, what does a dream mean to you?
A dream means to me driving yourself insane. A dream has to be an insanity in unreachable. I don't know, for me, like when I talk about dreams, it's this passion, this driven passion that is so insane that you wake up thinking on it. I wake up thinking on it, actually. I wake up thinking on it. I go to sleep thinking on it. In the middle of the day, I'm looking at those little gifts that life gives you, and I'm thinking, oh, this could work for this dream. You know, it's insanity. A dream to me, it's driving with insanity,
I love that.
being
And,
insane. Driven.
and what does competition mean to you?
Competition means to me, I'm gonna win. Competition means to me, definitely it means to me courage, right? Because it's a rough, it's a rough, um, it's a rough path. To me, competition is a rough path, but sometimes you have to put yourself some of that competition to propel yourself, to go to the next phase of yourself. Um, so it means for me, courage, strength.
Courage. Well, courage for me is so important. Like there, there's gonna be a lot of fears in life. We have a lot of fears. I have a lot of fears, and then trying to compete and trying to live our dreams, there's gonna be a lot of fear, and you just need to be courageous to live it.
Right?
Oh, I'm asking that because my brand and my channel is Dream to Compete. So as I just said, I think that we can live our dreams by taking ownership of our dreams and to compete and competing by taking ownership of our dreams. And so I just want to thank you so much for your time, for your knowledge, for sharing a little piece of you. And I love hearing from you. I'm a student of you. You're my coach right now, and I love it. I just love it. Thank you so much. And just to wrap up, like if people want to find about you, where can they find you? And what is a coach if they don't know?
Okay. Well, thank you. First, I want to say thank you. Thank you again for the opportunity for believing in my gifts, right? Um, and allowing me to get to know you into a deeper level and to be your companionship in that process of growth. Um, to me, it's just an honor. It's an honor to see the first time I coached you, it was like 5 years ago. And then here we are at another completely stage of your life with a completely different game plan. Here we are creating, coming into this artistic mode of creation and how I'm going to do it. And and I'm just honored and thrilled, and I cannot wait to see what the path is going to teach both of us. I think that's the beauty. And to answer that question, absolutely. You can always find me through Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, call it. I have my brand is called Live Your Journal. My podcast is Live Your Fucking Journal. So, um, and you can find me, or I can leave the information here for anyone that is looking, that are successful, that have results, that are okay with their life, but they just on a point where they don't know where to head. There is no motivation. What coaching does, it helps your present, from the present to the future. With this that I have, with this shit show that I have, how do I want to move forward? In what ways, right? And what do I learn? So it's a beautiful resource for having an amazing, deeper conversations. Where at the other end, it allows you to go into a deeper process of you and find out things that you didn't even know. Because that's the beauty of coaching. When you start digging in, out of nowhere, something comes out and it's like, ooh, there's an epiphany moment. Like, I didn't know that. So that's what I do. I promote those. I promote those. Probably it's not comfortable, right? And I always tell people I'm not comfortable. And I'm okay with that, right? Because I'm here to serve. I'm not here to look good. I already look good. so nothing. Thank you again. And yes, you can follow me and Live Your Journal. Live Your Fucking Journal. And for me, I am thrilled to be here. And thank you to everyone that is watching it as well.
So thank you everyone. See you next